Throughout the history of the Great Plains, the thunderous herds of bison roamed free. Wherever they went, the very landscape changed under their powerful hooves, creating paths that all other creatures could follow. And these bison are no different. The recent path to the FCS championship has always gone through Fargo, North Dakota. But if someone can put an end to the bison's dominance, perhaps it's the gunslinger named Maverick. Can he forge a new trail through the playoffs? Find out next. FCS playoffs round 2 from Fargo, North Dakota. Abilene Christian is 1 week removed from the program's first ever FCS playoff win, but this week's a different monster. The winningest program in all of the FCS, North Dakota State has won 9 of the last 13 national titles. The road to Frisco always runs through Fargo. North Dakota State, the number 2 overall seed, got a bye last week. Abilene Christian with a win got here to the second round, and the winner takes on either Mercer or Rhode Island next weekend in the quarterfinals. Hello, everyone, and welcome inside the Fargodome. Craig Halbert, Noah Reed with you. Normally, when a team makes the Final Four or national semifinals in this case, it's considered a dream season. Last year in Fargo, though, they called it a down year. But North Dakota State is back to being North Dakota State.
Yeah, partner, it seems in recent years you cannot talk about the Super Bowl without talking about the Kansas City Chiefs or Alabama when discussing the FBS playoffs. And for North Dakota State, they share that same distinction. They have been a consistent force within the FCS playoffs as they begin a journey looking for their 10th national title since 2011. And what makes them so great, much like an anaconda, they know how to squeeze the life out of their playoff opponents. They are top 10 in both scoring offense and scoring defense. They are one of the best rushing offenses in all of FCS, and you see how dominant they are at home, and they're also one of the best teams in the nation in terms of time of possession.
35-1 all-time in the Fargodome in the FCS playoffs. I mean, they are literally nearly unbeatable. Here's the good news for Abilene Christian. Their quarterback, who's thrown for nearly 4,000 yards this season, missed the first round last week. Craig, he's back today.
Yeah, he is one of the most prolific passers in all of the FCS. A 2019 signee with Texas Tech. It's taken him a little time to find his footing, but now he's really developed into an outstanding quarterback, closing in on 4,000 yards on the season. But it's not just him. He also has a great complement of weapons around him. 2 receivers at over 70 receptions on the year, as well as a 1,000-yard rusher. They have the pieces to come in here and try to do what very few have ever done.
306 yards a game is 4th most in the country for Maverick McIver in this air raid offense that is Abilene Christian. Wildcats won the toss. They defer. It is North Dakota State football to begin here in the Fargodome, and a touchback to start. The 4th-year starting quarterback, Cam Miller, who's making his 51st consecutive start, one of the finalists for the Walter Payton Award this year, the nation's best offensive player. And slowly, Craig, he's become one of the best players in all of college football.
Yeah, listen, you said one key thing right there, that no matter how great of a coach you can never coach, making a 51st straight start, that type of experience, especially in a playoff setting, is almost unparalleled.
Number 2 overall seed in the country. The Bison have won 9 of the last 13 national titles. This is the freshman running back in Marty Brown, who's closing in on 1,000 yards for the season. Picks up a couple.
Yeah, they have several backs they're going to use. Marty Brown, the redshirt freshman, has really kind of emerged this season as their kind of workhorse back, but they've got another back over 600 yards as well.
You just saw Brown there, was the 2024 Jerry Rice Award winner for best freshman in the FCS. That was announced a couple days ago on Wednesday. 2nd and long. Miller's first pass of the day as he slings it out to the sideline. It's the fullback in Truman Wermeyer as he gets pummeled out of bounds across the 40. Nobody uses a fullback like North Dakota State does.
And now using him a little bit differently than they normally. He came into today with 7 receptions. Right out the gate, they want to make sure they get number 8 on the year. Slipped him out. Again, he hasn't been a much used part. You see him right there in the wing, just out to the flat. Nobody covers him. early on, North Dakota State letting that Abilene Christian defense know they're going to have to defend all their weapons as well.
Local kid from here in Fargo, where he was two-time All-State at Davies High School, is Truman Wermeyer. Miller drops it off. It's caught by Bryce Lance, who squeezes between the defense and gives a stiff arm to Dorian Plumley. It's right at the 45 and a first down for the Bison. Tim Polasek in year number 1 as the head coach for North Dakota State, but he is as familiar as they come in Fargo, having spent 10 seasons as an assistant here for North Dakota State.
Yeah, talking with him yesterday, it seemed like he did not want to come in here and change anything. He was taking over one of the most successful programs in all of college football, regardless of division. I think he just wants to make sure that they live up to the standards that have been set.
First play in Abilene territory. Barika Penu with a shifty move. He's got another first down, angling to the sideline, and he gets dragged out of bounds inside the 20 by Tyson Williams.
Well, this was pretty much the opposite of a spread offense. Look at all the linemen, all the yellow jerseys. They are firing off, hitting that A-gap for a big gain. North Dakota State early on doing what they do best, just dominating that line of scrimmage.
29 yards from Penu. It's the 4th play of at least 10 yards in this opening drive for North Dakota State. And before the snap, there is a flag that flies in.
False start. Offense, number 73. 5-yard penalty, first down.
It's Mason Miller, the right tackle, who gets whistled for the false start to back the Bison up 5 yards.
And that's a small aspect of the game to watch, because Abilene Christian is actually one of the most penalized teams in the FCS. If they can come out, control the penalties, win the little things, that's how you pull off an upset early on. North Dakota State, very early on, but with a penalty here, pushing them back after that nice run.
First and 15. Brown following a great block from his offensive line as he gets all the penalty yardage back and maybe a little bit more.
Yeah, they work to that right side. You're going to see a lot of 12 personnel, 2 tight ends. They ran it to that side. One of the tight ends in line, one in the wing. They had a receiver tight to the formation as well. Just ran to that strength. Good push, as you mentioned. Get back what they lost.
And the thing they do so well, Craig, is over time they just wear you down with that big offensive line in the run game. Lance in motion. Give it to him on the end around. Gives a stiff arm to the defender, and he's ripped down behind the line of scrimmage by Abilene Christian's leading tackler, Will Schaefer.
Very nice job by Will Schaefer, a transfer from Arizona State. He just sets the edge, comes up, he's able to get that right hand free. Just great job just winning the leverage battle there, setting the edge, making a nice play, putting him in a 3rd and long.
4 years at Arizona State for Will Schaefer. Transferred to Utah State, but did not play a game there. Was there for just a semester, coaching change. He comes here to Abilene Christian. 3rd and 10. Miller zips it to the sideline. It's the tight end Stuffle. He reels it in inside the 10, but about a yard shy of the first down.
Abilene Christian brought pressure here, now really shortened. Love it here. Try to set a precedent early.
No huddle, quickly to the line on a 4th and 1. The tush push for Miller. That is right at the 6, Craig. NDSU saying first down, Abilene saying no. Turnover on downs. And it's a first down.
Wasn't quite as emphatic as maybe Bison fans would have liked. And he initially kind of got that center, did not get the push, but listen, I dare you to change that in that scrum, you know?
You're right. First and goal from the 6. Miller holds on to it, trying to seek out a hole, and there's not a whole lot to go there.
Yeah, just a designed quarterback run. It'd be interesting to see today, too, how much they allow Cam Miller to run. Really good athlete. He was a dual sport athlete in high school, all-state baseball player as well. But they lost their preseason backup quarterback early in the year. And when that happens, you're like, oh, you know what, we're going to be maybe a little bit more conservative with how you use your starting quarterback as a runner. But now you're in the playoffs. Things can change.
He's ran it a couple times already on this opening drive. 2nd and goal. This is Brown, the freshman running back, and he is stacked up immediately. Another short 1-yard pickup brings up 3rd and goal from the 4.
Abilene Christian with a chance for a stop here, but one of the things that North Dakota State does so well, we're already coming up on an opening 6-minute drive here for North Dakota State. I mentioned top 5 in the FCS in time possession. See here if they just try to continue their dominance on the ground. Watch the tight end as well here. Carson Williams, 88, 82. Stuffle, who's already made a big catch on this drive.
3rd and goal. Play action. Miller rolling right, sprinting away to the back of the end zone, and it's batted away. He was looking Carson Williams' way, the tight end you mentioned pre-snap, but it's a 4th down.
Abilene Christian was able to get pressure, not allow Miller to be able to set, as he was going to have to get on the move. He's booting out. That pressure does let him set. I think if he had a chance to set, he had Stuffle, number 82, underneath. But tried to make a tough throw there.
A drive that takes more than 6 minutes off the clock, but Abilene Christian forces a field goal, and North Dakota State on the board first. 3-0 Bison here at home in the 2nd round of the 2024 FCS playoffs. North Dakota State takes 6:08 off the clock on the opening drive, but Keith Patterson's club gets to stand on 3rd and goal, Craig, to force just 3 points.
Yeah, Keith Patterson, his background is on defense. Actually, still, even though he's the head coach, still very involved in calling that defense. And you mentioned North Dakota State got a win in doing what they do in terms of coming out, possessing the ball, keeping that Abilene Christian offense on the sideline for quite a bit before they get a chance to kind of take part in this game. But ultimately, the old bend but don't break, holding North Dakota State 3.
Patterson, one of the 15 finalists for FCS National Coach of the Year. The 9 wins this year for the Wildcats, most in the Division I era.
The march is on.
A Griffin Crosa field goal makes this 3-0. It's now Abilene Christian's offense's first time out on the field. An offense led by Maverick McIver, who's thrown for nearly 4,000 yards this season, top 5 in the country at more than 300 yards per game after missing last week's first round of the playoffs. Craig, a welcome sight to see him back today.
Yeah, he is really the catalyst of this offense. But as I mentioned at the top, he's not doing it alone. He's got a really quick release, and he does a nice job of spreading the football around. There are 4 different players within this Wildcats offense that has 40-plus receptions.
2 of them have more than 70 on the season. It's an air raid offense that loves to throw. McIver fires in. That's Blaine Taylor, who sits in there behind the defense and picks up 6 yards. That's the thing, Craig, that North Dakota State's defense is willing to give up. They're going to take away those 12 to 15-yard routes. They want you to stick to the 5 and 6 yards.
Yeah, they want to force Abilene Christian to work down in the field. You make them earn everything they get. No explosive plays, those 20-plus plays.
2nd and 4. Drops it off, and it's incomplete through the hands of J.J. Henry to bring up 3rd down.
See there, was just rushing 4 against McIver, dropping several defenders back, really trying to take away any windows for him to throw.
One of the best 3rd down offenses in the country in Abilene Christian. North Dakota State showing blitz here. Send 4. McIver to the sideline. It's hauled in by Henry. Makes a man miss, and he's got a 1st down. The first thing Rick Bowie, the offensive coordinator, told us this week about Henry Craig was they love to go to him on 3rd and 4th downs in key moments.
Well, he created that first down. North Dakota State came with a corner blitz. There were 2 defenders. He made them both miss. Moved the chains.
Screen pass, Nehemiah Martinez shifts past one guy. He's across midfield, and he gets ushered out of bounds about a yard shy of the marker.
Nehemiah Martinez, he was one of my favorite players to watch, watching Abilene Christian this week, getting ready for this game. He is versatile. He's kind of got that running back build. They'll use him at wide receiver. They'll put him in the backfield at times. Got to watch for him as well as a Wildcat. He's in the backfield now.
The ruling on the field of a first down is under further review.
I thought initially they marked him about a yard shy, but then they moved the chains, and now they want to look at this again. It was close.
Trying to see where he steps out, turning the corner. And that foot is out, a good 1.5 yards short. That left foot steps out. Try to break to the edge.
Might have gotten away with a holding, too.
They definitely did. That might
trying to be nice about it.
It's the playoffs, no time to be nice.
After review, the runner was short of the line to gain. It's 2nd down at the 49-yard line on the left hash.
All right, there you have it. About a 1.5 yards, 2 yards shy of the marker for Abilene Christian, a team that won the conference this year. 9 wins is 2 more than their previous high in the Division I era, and Keith Patterson's team really outplayed expectations.
Yeah, he was telling us they were picked 6th within the conference. Now here in round 2 of the playoffs, and they didn't get that first down, but it gives them an opportunity to maybe play with this down a little bit. Do they take a shot here?
Let's see if they do take that shot. Instead, it's on the ground with Hicks, who sidesteps the defender, and he gets ripped down behind the line of scrimmage. Keenan Wilson with his first stop to bring up a 3rd down.
There's going to be initial penetration in there. They do a nice job getting low, and then as you see the big man able to bring him down to finish the play.
1 for 1 on 3rd down this drive. McIver over the middle, pulled in by Taylor. It's a 1st down to the 44.
That's a welcome sight on the 3rd down to have a target like Blaine Tyler. Nearly 6'5", he is long. Just kept him underneath, but he knew where he needed to get right past the chains for that catch.
A pair of 3rd down conversions on this opening drive for Abilene Christian. Hicks on the ground, has a seam, and he drags Keenan Wilson with him down to the 38 for 6 more yards. Grant Olson, the defensive coordinator for North Dakota State, said, with Sam Hicks, I would put him in the category of best running backs within our conference, and our league is known for having great running backs.
And you think about the Missouri Valley, which North Dakota State is in, and all the great running backs within this conference, and Hicks certainly seems like he fits in that mold as well.
He gets motioned out of the backfield. McIver swings it to him. Spins away from a tackler, and he crawls his way back to the line of scrimmage at the 38. It's Enoch Sibomana's first stop.
And a good tackle there. And that's the thing. It's one thing that maybe come in with a philosophy, we're going to give the short passes and we're going to tackle. But if you do that, you got to tackle. If they're able to break tackles, that is not a very good game plan. But good pursuit there. Nice job wrapping up to set up this 3rd. They'll have Martinez to his right.
False start. Offense, number 70, 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
It's the center Tay Yanta with the full start, and instead of a 3rd and 4 now for Coach Patterson, it's a 3rd and 9.
Right in the middle of the screen. He just had that flinch back as the tight end was motioning over. Talk about how Abilene Christian has struggled with penalties this year. A big one there.
Conversions of 3rd and 3 and 3rd and 4 this drive for Abilene Christian. This is a 3rd and 9 though. McIver, clean pocket, climbs it, now uses the legs, needs the 34. He runs out of bounds about 2 or 3 yards shy, and this could potentially be 4-down territory though.
Yeah,
Craig.
I think where they are right before that snap, we're thinking that just get what you can get, try to get to 5-6, give yourselves a manageable 4th down opportunity. And McIver, who is certainly not a dual threat there, smart recognition to know that he had enough green in front of him to put him in a better situation here on 4th. Because had they not gotten any yards, they would have probably had the punt.
Big play early. 4th and 2. McIver on a deep drop, completes it over the middle, and it's a 1st down. Nehemiah Martinez gets punished out of bounds just shy of the 20 by Darius Givens, but it's another conversion and sets up 1st down.
Yeah, very much in the same fashion. Before it was to Blaine Taylor. This time they're going to bring pressure. It was just Martinez who was to his right, just dragging underneath, just knowing where the sticks were. And even though there was that pressure, McIver showing the poise, finding his versatile weapon coming across.
74th catch this season for Nehemiah Martinez. Leads Abilene Christian. Fake the handoff, slings it into one-on-one coverage to Trey Cleveland, who ducks down just shy of the line to gain.
And, you know, Abilene Christian is saying, hey, you know what? We'll take what you're going to give us, and we're going to move the ball, putting together a very North Dakota State type drive here in terms of time of possession.
A drive that's already taken 5.5 minutes off the clock. We're approaching 3 minutes to go in the 1st quarter, and each team's only had the ball once.
They got a tight formation, but here's the opportunity potentially where they are with 2nd down. Maybe take a shot at the end zone here.
Henry in motion ahead of a 2nd and 2. He throws it to him. He's got the 1st down. Henry to the pylon. It's an Abilene Christian touchdown. What an opening drive on the road in the Fargodome for Abilene Christian to take an early lead.
Twice on that drive, it's Henry with runs after the catch. Number 27, Ryan Jones there at the angle dive. Not able to make that tackle. Abilene Christian counters with a lengthy drive of their own, only one-upping North Dakota State by scoring a touchdown.
6 minutes off the clock in that drive as Ritzy Vase goes down the middle on the extra point. How about Abilene Christian on the road in the playoffs in the Fargodome? An opening drive touchdown to take a 7-3 lead. Craig, you said it earlier this week, Abilene Christian has exceeded all expectations, and at this point, they're playing with house money, and they're acting like that here in this 1st quarter.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we showed one team has come in here during the playoffs and beat North Dakota State. They realize that this is a tough challenge. But again, they were picked 6th to come in their conference. Everything they've done this year has already got this program on the right track. So you know what? Let's come in here, let's take some big swings, see what we can do.
2 drives in this 1st quarter apiece, and they both went 6 minutes. 7-3 Abilene Christian. The NCAA FCS championship coverage continues next weekend with the quarterfinal coverage across ESPN networks. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. Drive starts at the 25 for North Dakota State. Miller with a lot of patience delivers it to Rajon Nelson, who got pummeled by Tyson Williams. Whoa.
Well, that North Dakota State offensive line gave plenty of time, but the coverage by that Wildcats defense was on par. There was nowhere to go. As he goes through his progressions, he just checks it down. This is how you tackle in space. Close on the football, wrap up, finish.
Raja Nelson expected to be the #1 receiver coming into the season for the Bison, but only 5 games played this season after an injury suffered in the season opener against Colorado. But he's played in all the games that have mattered, the big ones this season. Miller flushed out to the right, delivers on the run to his running back in Penu. And he gets twisted down across the 45. It's a gain of 20 for Barika Penu.
There's where the athleticism of Cam Miller comes in. There's going to be pressure to his right. Nice job by the tackle of washing him down. He gets outside, and then a nice throw over that defender in that little seam there against his own for the game.
A 4 for 5 start on the day for Cam Miller, who's got the best completion percentage in the FCS. Back to the ground with Marty Brown. He gets stacked up after no gain. Great penetration from the Abilene Christian defense.
Yeah, that group up front doing a nice job of not giving any ground. And that was kind of my question for this Wildcats front coming into this game. Could they anchor? And they've got nice size along their defensive line, but more importantly, could they get off blocks to be able to make plays at the line of scrimmage?
Second down, quick screen pass. It's Chris Harris who squeezes between the defense, and he's taken down just shy of midfield by Kirby Kohili.
Now North Dakota State here, Noah, is at a point in the field too where if they even get 4 yards, they think about maybe going forward on 4th as well.
Third and 6. Miller takes a shot deep downfield, and it's batted away. It's incomplete. Wanted Braylon Henderson. Tyson Williams had great coverage.
Brought some pressure, gave him time. He had to one-on-one downfield. Tyson Williams, as you mentioned, just running with him, stays calm. He reads the receiver's hands once they go up. His go up. Watch, he doesn't panic. He looks back. Once he sees the receiver's hands go up, his hands go up, he gets the break up.
Couple great plays on that drive by Tyson Williams. And Nehemiah Martinez calls for the fair catch at the 10. That last drive, Craig, was all about 3rd and 4th down conversions for Abilene Christian, which led to a touchdown.
Yeah, Wildcat said, you're going to give us underneath. You know what? We're going to take underneath, and then we're going to run after the catch. Here on a 3rd down, getting it to their tall receiver, Blaine Taylor, and then this one, once again, just needed a slight conversion. Nothing very complicated, just dragging one of their receivers underneath, and then once again, Henry with a nice run after the catch to take it in for the score.
A nearly flawless first drive for Maverick McIver, the quarterback for Abilene Christian. 8 of 9 and a touchdown. He hands it off on the opening play, and a wide open seam for Sam Hicks. Hicks across the 40, down the sideline. One man to beat. Touchdown Abilene Christian. 90 yards.
We said that McIver has a complement of weapons around him, and there is one of them, Sam Hicks. Over 1,100 yards coming into the day. Got to see him, took that all the way, showing the speed as well.
A shocking first quarter has come to an end in front of a silent Fargodome.
Only one team has ever come into the Fargodome during the playoffs and knocked off North Dakota State. Abilene Christian, their first foray into the playoffs early on, put North Dakota State on their heels.
A first quarter that I would say just about nobody expected inside the Fargodome. A 14-3 lead for Abilene Christian over North Dakota State. They've been able to do whatever they want offensively.
And what a way to close that first quarter with a big run. North Dakota State wanted to take away the explosive plays. Many of us thought it would come through the air. There's Sam Hicks showing that it could also come on the ground as well.
Nearly 1,200 yards on the ground this season coming into the game for Hicks, who went over 2,000 all-purpose yards last week in the first round win. Ran for 95 yards in that first quarter. And of those 95 yards, Craig, 90 of them came on that last touchdown run.
Just getting off that left side, there's already going to be a bubble there in that B gap. They're going to pull the right guard, the right tackle coming around. They're just a great job. And Hicks has plenty of green. Once he hits that line of scrimmage, rush ball right behind number 57 and getting downfield. And then was off to the races, showing impressive speed, as you mentioned, to take that 90 yards.
Sam Hicks wasn't even a running back until last year. He was a wide receiver at Central Michigan. They moved him to running back before the start of last season, and now he's been one of the best running backs in the country. Before the snap, there's a flag, and that should back up the Bison 5 more yards.
Delay of game, defense, using disconcerting signals, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Well, that's not a call you see often.
No, but again, it feeds into the narrative, something to watch, the little things in a game like this, especially when you're playing a program as experienced as North Dakota State. You can't make those type of little mistakes. And oftentimes what they're looking for there defensively is a shift with some type of a hand movement that may simulate forward progress that could throw the offense off, and the officials saw something there to throw the flag.
Barika Penu tried to hop away, but he couldn't. And Will Schaefer makes a stop behind the line of scrimmage.
It all started with Kirby Kohili, number 46. He was immediately in the backfield, number 46, right in the middle of your screen. He's going to come shooting in there, and he's going to disrupt this play, force the cutback, and then the nice job there, as you mentioned, by Schaefer getting off the block and cleaning it up.
Offensively, North Dakota State has been built on the run forever, Craig. They're not having much success right now in the first quarter plus on the ground.
No, right now this Wildcats defensive front is winning the battle along the line of scrimmage.
Fakes the handoff. Miller holds on to it. And he ducks down just about a yard or two shy of the line to gain. It's Isaiah Kelly who was the first one to Miller.
As you mentioned a little earlier, they've been a little careful running him at times, but now in the playoffs and down, maybe you start to unleash those reins a little bit and letting him become a factor in the run game as well.
Cam Miller went to Jake Landry, the offensive coordinator, and Randy Hedberg, the quarterback coach, this week on multiple occasions and said, please let me run the football more in the playoffs now. We've seen him run it 3 times in the first quarter plus. Brown got stacked up. And that's about a half-yard shy of the marker to bring up 4th and inches.
He hit that line, and he immediately got stood up. You can't even say forward progress. It'll be interesting. Going to get down here. They're going to pull. Watch, he gets in there, and he immediately gets stood up. There's no even forward progress. As he gets in there, immediately, and there's just a sea of white helmets there.
North Dakota State punt unit on for the 2nd consecutive drive, and it takes a bounce and a kind hop for the Bison, rolling inside the 20. Back-to-back stops for Abilene Christian's defense. The offense has scored every time they've touched the football. We might have something brewing here in Fargo. coming up at 4 Eastern, 1 Pacific on ABC. Championship Saturday rolls along with number 7 Georgia and 3rd-ranked Texas in the SEC title game. And finally, 12th-ranked Clemson and number 9 SMU play for the ACC title. Little bit of a family connection. The quarterback today for Abilene Christian, Maverick McIver's dad, Rick, was the quarterback for Texas back in 1979 to 1983. His Longhorns playing for an SEC title in their first year in the league. McIver with some heat. His pass is batted away. Just the 2nd incompletion he's thrown today.
And there was a tip there. So one of the interesting things to watch is they got to watch penalties and they got to watch turnover. There is a huge discrepancy between these two teams in turnover margin. Abilene Christian is -6, where North Dakota State is almost like eye-popping +17. And we saw there with a tip pass, goes up in the air. They've got to watch turnovers.
Little trickery. This is Nehemiah Martinez off the toss. Ducks away from one tackler, but there is nothing going. And there seems to be some sense of urgency from this North Dakota State defense in the first 2 plays.
And when you're upset-minded, you got to stay on track to play. 2 linemen pulled towards each other and collided right in the middle. Both guards wind up pulling and colliding. So that first play, a tip pass. That second play, miscommunication amongst their front. Now it's got them into 3rd and long.
2 for 3 on 3rd down today. The one time they didn't get it, they converted on 4th down a play later. 3rd and 11. McIver dumps it off to Hicks. Has an open hole and he gets dragged down from behind by Eli Mostar.
Yeah, the right read there from McIver, but that was a lot of ground to try to pick up. North Dakota State doing a nice job tackling there, but they had a free blitzer and it was right in his face right away.
A drive after this Bison defense gave up a 90-yard touchdown run. They force a 3 and out, and it's the first empty possession for Abilene Christian today. Good starting field position for North Dakota State on the other side. Offense has to figure it out, though. Down 14-3 early first half. Unfamiliar territory now for Tim Polasek and North Dakota State. The last time they were down 2+ scores, Craig, came all the way back 2 years ago in the FCS playoffs against Incarnate Word, where they did ultimately come back to win the game.
Yeah, I mean, it's still really early in this game. Again, we've talked about the playoff experience that this program has. A lot of these players have been there before.
Best starting field position for North Dakota State on the afternoon so far, at their own 42. Miller to throw, dumps it over the top, and it's batted and intercepted. Kagan Roach with the pick to set up Abilene Christian with phenomenal starting field position. Just the 2nd interception Cam Miller has thrown all year and the 4th total turnover all season for the Bison.
Yeah, we talked about that turnover margin. Right now it's +1 for Abilene Christian. They're going to just try to slip their tight end out to the flat. Number 90 does a great job of reading it, extending, using that length for them to get it, tips it to himself, and a big play here for the Wildcats to set themselves up. Just sees it. Roach is about 6'5", uses that length to his advantage to make that big play.
After the interception, empty backfield. Wonder if Abilene might be thinking shot to the end zone. Play action over the middle, knocked away. Somebody got a hand on it for North Dakota State. It's Nick Kubitz.
Now 2nd time in 4 snaps, though. There's just been a batted pass. As you mentioned, just trying to give that look. They're going to pull around. Great job there by the backer in the middle. That was Kubitz, 36. Good awareness, get his hands up.
5th-year senior starting linebacker the last couple years for North Dakota State. 2nd and 10. McIver swings it out to Hicks, and he got crushed. Enoch Sibomana with a punishing hit.
He's going to check it down, as you mentioned. Brisk comes up, outstanding job. That's the type of tackling in space that you need. And this is big for this Bison defense here to try to force a field goal.
Third and 9. McIver off his back foot to the end zone, and it's knocked away. Threw it into triple coverage looking for Trey Cleveland.
Only brought 4, dropped 7. In that compact space down here, there was really nowhere to go. You can see, actually, yeah, they only brought 4. Had a twist, which brought some immediate pressure there. That was Eli Mostart coming around, and big stand there by that Bison defense.
Ritzy Vase on to attempt a 29-yard field goal to try to make this a 14-point lead. And he boots it straight through. Might call that a win for the North Dakota State defense to force 3. This is what set it all up. Kagan Roach, the interception, allows Abilene Christian to take a 2-touchdown lead. Kagan Roach's first career interception, and what a time to have it in the road in the FCS playoffs to give Abilene Christian a 14-point lead against North Dakota State with 10.5 to go before halftime.
Yeah, Roach usually used to getting to the quarterback, 3 sacks, 10 tackles for a loss, but there, showing maybe he should move to the secondary.
Give him some time at cornerback, coach. Jackson Williams from about 4 yards deep in the end zone on the return. Oh, there he goes. Jackson Williams, one man to beat, and it's the punter. His second kickoff return for a touchdown this season, and this is a different ballgame.
Jackson Williams on the return.
Head coach Tim Polasek told us yesterday one of his keys was 2 explosive plays on special teams. We'll put a check next to one of them right there. It's a 3-phase game, and that 3rd phase paying off big there for North Dakota State.
The freshman kick returner with an electrifying impact in the first half to pull North Dakota State within a touchdown. And the extra point from Griffin Crosa is there.
I got to tell you, I don't know how he got past the kicker. There had to be no space between the solid. Great job. Just, he never really had to change direction. It looked like the kicker would have him, then nope. Flattened out that angle at the last second, and Williams kicked it in his 2nd gear. See him right there. He's running. He did, nope. He came too flat initially. He had it too. All he had to do was come a little bit deeper. Could have forced him out of bounds, but a great job by that Bison kick return unit. They really never forced Williams to have to change direction. He was able to get that ball, get north, and just head upfield.
The freshman had a 100-yard kickoff return for a touchdown earlier this season. Make it 104 yards on that one. Well, that's how you get back in the game.
Yeah. There's a lot of components that go into a game, and I'm sure Abilene Christian knows even with that fast start, they're in for 4 full quarters. We talked about all that North Dakota State has accomplished as a program.
Sam Hicks gonna try it from 4 yards in the end zone himself. He's got a crease, hops away from one. There is a flag that is thrown in as Hicks goes out of bounds near the 35, but we'll have to see if this comes back.
There was a hold in the form of a bear hug right around the 10-yard line.
There is no foul for a hold. The return is good. First down.
Wow.
Bear hugs allowed, apparently.
Yeah, they must have just thought it was friendly. Wow. Wow. See, look right around the 15-yard line. He's going to try. Those hands are around him.
He heard about the saying North Dakota nice, and he was just trying to return the favor.
I had to throw it and then pick it. I could see if you don't throw it, to throw it and then pick it up. Interesting. All right, let's play ball.
Drive starts at the 36. McIver wasn't ready for the snap. And he slides down to pick it up inside the 20 for a loss of 18 yards.
Not to be a jerk, but that feels like football karma. right about where the holding was. Just now, you can see he's looking around. That ball sails. He's still kind of in pre-snap. Good awareness, at least to be able to chase that down. And it's probably, maybe 60, 70% full, but it's still loud in here, Noah.
Second and 28. McIver drops it off. That's caught by Trey Cleveland. And he's wrestled down at the 20 for just a 2-yard pickup. I mean, the matter of 5 minutes real time, Craig, and this game has completely flipped.
Yeah, I mean, at a special teams play and then that errant snap. Now, this is definitely where North Dakota State's going to say, hey, you know what, we're going to give it the underneath.
Only send 3. Hand off to Banks, his first carry of the game. He gets a lot of that yardage back, but he still doesn't even get to the original line of scrimmage. Gain of 12, 4th and 14.
Now that doesn't go in the turnover column, but it very much, it's a cousin of a turnover right there, because it totally changed the dynamic of that drive and a chance for the Wildcats to be able to try and counter.
Grant Nickel, they fake the punt, the toss. And just shy of the line to gain for Nehemiah Martinez. They wanted to get risky, they wanted to get aggressive, and it doesn't pay off this time.
Came close, but yeah, I mean, that was a long way to go. Tried to catch him off guard here. They're gonna motion around, set up the option look. He gives it a nice pitch there. But again, they had about 12 yards to go, and that North Dakota State defense quickly saw the motion, felt something was coming, able to get in position and start here in plus territory.
Hindsight, obviously, the answer is no, but did you like that in the moment to try to call that fake punt?
That was a long way to go, no, just because of the distance.
Drive starts at the plus 44 for North Dakota State, who can tie this game with a touchdown. And Marty Brown drags a defender with him down to the 39 for 5 yards.
You'd probably have to go back, Noah, to that first drive, maybe that third or fourth snap where they've had a run like that.
It was not a lot of success early after that 12-play drive that ended in a field goal, couple punts in a row. Now an interception on the first play of that last drive, but because of a kickoff return for a touchdown, North Dakota State's back within 7. Fake to Marshall. On the run, pass is completed to Joe Stuffle to tie it in, and he tiptoes the sideline for a first down.
He had Pennew as running back underneath, and that's going to draw the attention of the defense. 82 Stuffle at that second level. You see all the defenders come down to number 8 that left that window there on that second level for the tight end, who we've seen pretty active here in this first half within the passing attack.
Surprised by that?
No, I mean, listen, get everybody involved.
Play clock down to 4. Snap it with 1. Brown to the right side. Gets away from an ankle tackle, and the second effort pushes him across the 20 for 6 yards.
Yeah, initially it was like a 3-yard gain. Then he kept fighting, able to get through an arm tackle to push forward for another 3. Nice gain there on first down.
The Jerry Rice Award winner for best freshman in the FCS has been mainly bottled up today, only averaging about 2 yards a carry in this first half. Approaching 1,000 on the season, though, for the redshirt freshman. Second and 4. Miller has a lot of time. Miller surveying, and the check down as he throws it way behind TK Marshall. Third and 4.
Him and Marshall not on the same page there. Marshall was open underneath. It was the right place to go. Marshall worked to his left. Miller expected him to go back to the right. Led to the incompletion, but a rare no tight end look there from North Dakota State.
Well, they rectify that quickly with just about every tight end they have on the roster and now. Third and 4. Low snap. Miller sets, fires over the middle. No flag. What? Dorian Plumlee had the coverage on Joe Stuffle.
Stuffle there to the left. He's going to work down the seam. The tight end, we talked about how active he has been there, a little bit in the inside, just does not let him work past back to the football. You can see Plumlee there, he grabs him as well. So right now we have to classify this game as they're letting him play.
Yeah.
Unless it's a procedural penalty, they're letting him play.
Griffin Crosa has made from 21. This one is from 37, and it's there. 10 unanswered, scored by North Dakota State to pull the Bison within 4. 5:58 to play before halftime.
Very different feel, even though the Wildcats still maintain the lead. But you're right, how quick that momentum can shift. But if they were taking Abilene Christian lightly before, they certainly are not now. And these fans aren't either.
It's V Week at ESPN, where we partner with the V Foundation to highlight the urgent need for cancer research. This is game-changing research that helps save lives. You can join the fight by visiting v.org/donate. 100% of your donation goes directly to cancer research. The Bison fans here in the Fargodome probably a little surprised by how this first half has played out. Down as many as 14 at one point, but they have scored 10 unanswered to make this a 4-point deficit. Short kickoff taken at the 11 by Rovan Banks. Squeezes past 1, takes a hit, and he dips down to the 24. This was 17-3 just a little bit ago, Craig. The turning point, 104-yard kickoff return.
Yeah, the freshman Jackson Williams, outstanding blocking, would take it in, and then just an errant snap would put the Wildcats offense way behind the chains. And then they tried to go for a fake punt. North Dakota State sees it, brings him down just short. And with that good field position, able to cut into that Abilene Christian lead even further with a field goal.
10 straight for North Dakota State, down 4. It's the Abilene Christian offense on the field with just under 6 to play before halftime. Sam Hicks with a stretch play to the left, and he's ripped down at near the 30 by Darius Gibbons. who they did not expect whatsoever, Craig, to play a role for this defense for North Dakota State, was a reserve to start the season, became a mid-year starter, and has been maybe the biggest surprise of the Bison defense.
Yeah, it's a long year, and there's always those players that begin to step up and emerge, and he has for this North Dakota State defense. But a nice run there on first down. Put them in a good situation here on second if they want to put it up in the air.
McIver looking left the whole way, flings it into one-on-one coverage, and he overshoots his target, Blaine Taylor. Jalen Duffy had the one-on-one coverage downfield for North Dakota State.
Duffy, nice coverage there. You should see how North Dakota State handles this third down here, third and medium. They're going to bring pressure. Been prone to drop 7 at times. Try to force McIver to find a window.
Empty backfield on third down. Zips it over the middle, caught by Henry, who he loves to go to on third down, and he's got the first down.
It was a nice job by Henry. We've seen him be able to make some runs after the catch. That was a little bit behind him, a really nice adjustment. He's going to be working over the middle. They've converted quite a few third downs with this simple route, but it's behind him a little bit. Does a nice job of adjusting.
Ole Miss transfer who's in his first year with Abilene Christian. Kept this time by McIver, who goes straight up the gut.
You don't see that often. So often that I think Hicks was surprised that he didn't give it to him.
It was.
Like he tried to, that almost became disastrous because Hicks almost tried to rip that away from him. You don't really think of McIver as a runner. He's working there. He sees something, and he takes it back from him. I don't know, maybe if he felt it wasn't a clean handoff, and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna play it safe, I'm taking it back. Because he is certainly no Cam Ward or anything in terms of running.
This time he does give to Hicks, who's patient behind a block, and great penetration. It's Eli Mostart, the back-to-back All-Missouri Valley Conference selection with the stop.
Yeah, that Bison defense gave no ground along that right side. That allowed Mozart from the backside to be able to come down and make that play. Third and long here. North Dakota State bring pressure. Try to get McIver uncomfortable. They've had success with those short underneath passes. That's not going to work here on third down and 10.
J.J. Henry lined up in the slot near side. He already has 2 third down catches in the first half. And flags blow this play dead.
False start. Offense, number 70. 5-yard penalty. It's third down.
It's the second false start against the center, Tay Yanta, both of them coming on third downs.
The play starts with you. Of all 11 guys, you should never be the one with that. But you mentioned second time, and crazy even more. That last look, North Dakota State showed pressure, then bailed. They were only going to bring 4. This time just showing 4, and I think they feel to win this game today, they need to be able to get pressure with those 4 up front.
Don't exactly know why that was blown dead at the moment, but let's play ball. Third and 15, North Dakota State sends 4. McIver's got time, launches down the middle, and it's knocked away. Logan Kopp, the linebacker, was back in coverage. Looking for J.J. Henry, but it's 4th down.
As you mentioned, second time in a row, showed a little bit of pressure, wound up dropping, and then Kopp, the linebacker, is going to get great depth there. It's like a deep safety. He sees it, runs, and really kind of gets in that window as a receiver trying to come over the top on the post, but good coverage on the outside by the corner as well.
Back-to-back years as a first-team all-conference linebacker is Logan Kopp. And Jackson Williams holds it in on a fair catch at their own 34. All right, so at one point earlier in this quarter, Craig, it was 17-3. Everything was going Abilene Christian's way, but North Dakota State has now scored 10 in a row, and they've got the football with a chance to take the lead right before halftime.
Yeah, North Dakota State with a chance to kind of continue to push the momentum in their favor, but Wildcats still sitting in good position here. If they can get into the half with the lead, I mean, go ahead and chalk that up as an early win.
Against the 9-time FCS champions who are 35-1 all-time in this building in the playoffs. Drive starts at their own 34, 2:49 before halftime. And Miller to throw. Uncorks it down the seam. Oh, what a catch! Braylon Henderson laying out to hold it in.
Henderson made that a little bit more difficult on himself than he needed to. He's going to come out of his break and he slows down. He's kind of got to re-accelerate and dive, but he gets it done and makes that catch.
Miller, quick throw. That's Raja Nelson who angles out of bounds after 8 yards.
Miller actually gets up a little bit limber there, walking on his left leg, struggling to put a little bit of pressure there as he immediately is going to get pressure off the edge to make that throw. So here, go back and see that nice extension and catch there.
Cole Payton, the backup quarterback, is out for the season for North Dakota State too. So if
that is
Cam
the
Miller has any
timeout.
sort of problems, it would be the third string quarterback. 2-minute timeout. North Dakota State down 4, but driving right before halftime. Welcome back to the FCS playoffs on ESPN. Final 2 minutes before halftime inside the Fargodome, and a little bit of a surprise here in the second round. Abilene Christian up 4 on the number 2 seed North Dakota State, but it is Cam Miller and the Bison driving inside the 30, trying to score to take the lead going into the break. Ten unanswered for North Dakota State after falling behind 17-3 earlier in the second quarter. Brown to the outside's got the first down and lowers the shoulder as he pummels his way to the 20. Elijah Moffitt, the safety, is the one that took the worst into that hit from the running back Brown.
In that previous play, Miller got up a little bit slow, favoring that right leg. So the pressure that was coming off the edge from number 8, Chris Wright. I think North Dakota State was smart there to kind of call a timeout and then follow that up with a run.
Threw an interception earlier in this quarter, only his 2nd of the season, only the Bison's 4th turnover all year. First down and another red zone trip for NDSU. Miller looking left the whole way, snaps it to the sideline, and it's reeled in by Raja Nelson. 7 more yards for North Dakota State.
Making a nice throw, showing a little bit of arm strength there, and setting him up here in a second down. You've seen him be pretty active pretty early here in terms of working the tight end. He's in the huddle, number 82, Stuffle. Talked about when we met with him yesterday, him potentially being a red zone target. Birdie took a shot at him once down here.
Barika Penu on the carry, and he's ripped down by Jerry Lawson with his team-leading 14th tackle for loss.
Head coach Keith Patterson talking to him earlier this week. He raved about his interior D linemen, including that man, number 95, Lawson, and David Oakey, number 98. He really kind of talked about those two as the unsung heroes of this defense.
His defensive end teammate Kagan Roach said earlier this week of Jerry Lawson that he inspires me every day. He never takes a play off. You get 100% from him every single play.
First timeout, Abilene Christian. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 49 seconds.
I mean, an active too. I mean, 60 tackles for an interior D lineman.
Thank you.
Doing just a nice job using his hands, playing off the block, staying square. There you go. That's how you do it, youngsters.
Your big thing, too, coming into this game was, can that defensive line get off the blocks?
Yeah.
And they have pretty well in this first half.
I think that defensive front for Abilene Christian has more than risen to the occasion thus far and slowing the rushing attack of North Dakota State, who's still just trying to break 60 yards. Again, this is one of the top rushing attacks in all of the FCS. Came in today, number 9 in rushing offense.
29 of those yards came on one play by Barika Penu, so only 30 yards rushing if you take away that one big run. Well, you can't take off that early. Braylon Henderson was halfway to the end zone.
Offense, number 1, 5-yard penalty, it's third down.
That had to be designed for him. He was ball's
he was ready.
My way.
The big thing here, though, Craig, is 2 red zone trips that have resulted in 2 field goals for North Dakota State. They've got to be able to finish a drive.
Yeah, and third down has not been their friend so far today.
Second best third down offense in the country leading into today, too. Miller with a clean pocket, rips it over the middle, caught by Nelson, and he dives down near the 10, which is the line to gain.
First charge timeout, North Dakota State. 30-second timeout. Please reset the game clock to 38 seconds. 38.
Oh, the Bison take a timeout ahead of a 4th and 1, which gives them plenty of time to ruminate if they're going to go for it on 4th down or kick a field goal.
Over to the middle, a little bit to the inside. Nice job, but these are the points as a head coach. This is why you get the big bucks, you get the courtesy car, you get the radio show. Like, you go for it here, or do you just take the points? Be surprised if they come out, try to pick up this first down, really try to make a statement before the end of this first half. I was looking in the huddle. I think at the very least, you see if you get a free first down. Abilene Christian is not afraid to draw a penalty.
Fourth and less than a yard, need the 10 for a first down. Hand off to Brown, he's got the first down and a few yards more down to the 7. Clock stops on the first down momentarily, and now North Dakota State calls a timeout.
Second charge timeout, North Dakota State. 30-second timeout.
And head coach Tim Polasek, he came running out on that timeout, just pumped up with that first down.
17-13, Abilene Christian on top of North Dakota State. It is the Bison who are driving, though, right now, right before halftime. Craig Halbert, Noah Reed back with you. This feels really crucial for North Dakota State. After 2 field goals in the red zone, can they punch one in, take a lead going into halftime?
Yeah, I think the big thing for them right here going into the half is finishing a drive. They've shown they can move the football. The points coming off of the big special teams play. But they've struggled in this first half in terms of converting third downs. And you remember that great opening drive, a little over 6 minutes, only came away with a field goal. They got to finish here.
They have scored 10 unanswered after a 17-3 deficit early. But they're tired of 3. You know they want 7 here right before halftime. First and goal. Miller left the whole way. It's caught by Bryce Lance, who sheds 1 and then gets yanked down at the 5 by Dorian Plumley.
Final charge timeout, North Dakota State. 30-second timeout.
Bison take their 3rd and final timeout before halftime ahead of a 2nd and goal with 26 seconds to play.
Yeah, final timeout. We'll see here. This certainly have plenty of times in order to take 2 shots at the end zone. Now, if you feel like you want to stick to your forte and run it, still got time, but you got to quickly get up and clock the football and then give yourself a chance for the kick.
I was just going to ask you, so you do think there is enough time with 26 seconds to go to run it once if they want to?
You better, yeah, you all better be on the same page, and if you don't get it again, you're going to have to set yourself up to go ahead and make sure you get time stopped to be able to give yourself an opportunity to kick. But yeah, you can run.
Second and goal for NDSU at the 6. Miller to throw. Miller, clean pocket to the end zone. Toe tap, touchdown, Rajah Nelson. North Dakota State's in front.
Still got time to run.
Cam Miller has just become the all-time completions leader in North Dakota State history, and that's pretty impressive with a program that's had Carson Wentz and Trey Lance, Easton Stick, Brock Jensen. It's Cam Miller who sits alone at the top for most completions in a North Dakota State career.
And doing it with the opportunity to put his team back ahead right before the half after, I think, what many around the FCS would have thought a surprising start. Up Nelson up top, just working along the back line. He's able to get the separation there. You see him going to come right into your screen. A beautiful throw there, almost disrupted by his own tight end. He stumbled there right in the middle. He skied, thinking that was an overthrown pass to him. Almost got an unwanted pass breakup, but he was there, ready to celebrate too.
What do you think of that celebration?
I like to play, not the celebration so much.
Rajah Nelson, only his 5th game played this season, suffered a groin injury in week 1 against Colorado. They've been very conservative with him. Only played him in the quote-unquote big games this year, the South Dakota State, the South Dakota, the North Dakota game. But he is a full go here in the playoffs, and he gives North Dakota State the lead with 21 seconds before halftime. Nehemiah Martinez lets it fly out of the end zone. All right, air raid offense of Abilene Christian. You think they're taking one shot here, or are we going to go to the locker room?
Nah, not where they have the ball. No. I think things kind of, pivoted away from you off of that big kick return. But you're still, listen, even if you're going in half down 3 in Fargo,
yeah.
I mean, this is still really a great situation here for them. Probably just do something underneath and see again if they can get a nice run after catch.
It's Hicks right up the gut. Splits between 2 defenders down to the 34. And Abilene Christian is not in a hurry to get back to the line. That appears to be the final play of the first half here inside the Fargodome.
So North Dakota State's being outrushed. Abilene Christian's being outpassed. There you go. We got a little bit more of a different game than some may have thought, but North Dakota State with the lead. But man, the Wildcats still in that upset-minded zone.
Great, entertaining first half inside the Fargodome here with North Dakota State on top of Abilene Christian by 3. 17 unanswered points for the Bison after being down 17-3 early in the second quarter. They rattle off 17 in a row, and the Bison have a lead going to halftime. Abilene Christian, upset-minded though, coming on the road to the Fargodome and making it a great first half here in the second round of the FCS playoffs. Halftime inside the Fargodome. North Dakota State took a 17-3 deficit and turned it into a 20-17 lead after 17 unanswered points to end the first half. We welcome you back inside the Fargodome. Craig Halbert, Noah Reed back with you. Round 2 of the FCS playoffs. All the teams that had the byes, the 1 through 8, are in action today. And there's been a couple games kind of like ours where it's been very competitive and some road teams having some leads right now against some home teams.
Yeah, when the brackets first came out, one thing was very clear, that if you wanted to win a national title, it was going to come through some of the familiar faces: North Dakota State, South Dakota State, South Dakota. So once again, these players, if we think about it, the last 2 national titles, South Dakota State. Title before that, North Dakota State. You see Montana State. So these are all familiar. You knew the same territory of country was going to be the deciding factor on who wins a national title. But you're right. There's some teams out there looking to shake that up.
1 seed Montana State undefeated, then it's 3 Missouri Valley Football Conference teams, 2, 3, and 4, rounding up the top 4 seeds here in the FCS playoffs. And a look at our side of the bracket right now. The winner of this game advances to the quarterfinals next week. Mercer at home right now with a slight edge over Rhode Island, 14-10 in the 4th quarter. That one's coming down to the wire too.
Yeah, Mercer, you know, you look ahead, potentially North Dakota State, Mercer really good in terms of rush defense, also really good in turnover margin. But Rhode Island looking to pull off an upset of their own.
Villanova on the road up 6-3 against Incarnate Word, and then South Dakota State taking care of Montana right now in a 35-10 lead in the 4th quarter of that one in Brookings. Other side of the bracket, undefeated number 1 Montana State is rolling right now against UT Martin, up 28-10. Tie between UC Davis and Illinois State at 7 right now. Tarleton on the road. That's one of those we were talking about right now at South Dakota, up a touchdown at halftime.
Yeah, that game very much a contrasting styles. Tarleton State, the Texans, they could throw the football around the yard, really good on special teams, very good in terms of turnover margin as well. So another team out of the United looking to come up to this part of the country and create some havoc.
Only 1 game left to play tonight. That's at 9 Eastern tonight. Lehigh at Idaho in the Kibbe Dome coming up later tonight. First half stats and highlights coming up on the other side here from the Fargodome. North Dakota State kicked an opening drive field goal to go up 3-0, but then after that, Abilene Christian marched right down the field for a touchdown.
Yeah, they put together a time-consuming drive of their own, finished with Henry making a nice run after the catch. And then speaking about run, the 1,000-yard rusher Sam Hicks would be off to the races, taking it 90 yards. See him striding it out into the end zone there. But ultimately, special teams would change the tide. You get the number 2 seed, North Dakota State Bison, right back into it. The kicker there, so close yet oh so far, would allow the freshman Williams to take it all the way. Put points on the board, and then right before the half, Raja Nelson, number 3, working across the end line, would get the football from Cam Miller with a record-setting throw there.
Yeah, he went as the program's all-time completion leader with that touchdown pass to Raja Nelson. And a look at the first half stats. Total yards are almost identical, but it's hilarious, Craig. The thing that is exact opposite of what we thought. North Dakota State, more passing yards. Abilene Christian, more rushing yards.
Yeah, the two that stand out that I think for North Dakota State to have the lead, being 0 for 6 on 3rd downs. And this is a team during the year that has been really strong on 3rd downs. And then we talked a little bit about that turnover margin. They were plus 17, North Dakota State. Now they're in the hole one.
2017, North Dakota State at halftime. Second half is next. We welcome you back to the 2024 FCS playoffs on ESPN. 20-17 lead for North Dakota State over Abilene Christian, but it took a 17-0 run in that 2nd quarter, Craig, for the Bison to jump in front. It was all Abilene Christian early.
Yeah, you know, really one of the big plays of that first half was the nice tip and interception on defense by Abilene Christian from Kagan Roach. But equally as big was North Dakota State's sudden change defense, only allowing 3 points off of that turnover.
North Dakota State had the ball to start the game, so Abilene Christian receives the second half kickoff here inside the Fargodome. Abilene Christian jumped out to a 17-3 lead. North Dakota State scored 17 unanswered in the 2nd quarter, and it is Bison up 20-17 now to start the 3rd quarter. Right before halftime, Craig, you noticed this live in the moment. Keith Patterson pulled his team into a huddle and pointed to the scoreboard to say, we are in this thing.
Yeah, listen, the momentum shifted away from him a little bit there at the end, but he's telling them, hey, listen, we're someplace that very few teams have had success, and you know what? We're right in this fight. Let's keep going punch for punch and try to get this done, but he would not let them go in the locker room before he called them up, and I'm sure he let them know that they're right in this thing.
He called North Dakota State the Alabama of the FCS and said, we have tons of respect for what they've done as a program, but we fear nobody. We believe we can go to the Fargodome and win this week. Fake the handoff, zips it out to Martinez on a screen, gives a stiff arm to a defender and wrestles his way out to the 34. I mean, they just get Nehemiah Martinez the ball in every way possible. They force feed him the ball.
Yeah, well, because he's so versatile, just a great player. But what's interesting is, early on, a nice little bit of good first down gain. But North Dakota State has been good in forcing McIver, who only threw for 82 yards in that first half, to have to take the underneath throws.
He averages 306 passing yards a game. That's fourth most in the nation. Hicks on a little misdirection, squeezes through the defense, and that was a pretty sidestep down to the 41.
Hicks, he's a runner with just good lateral movement. He's got that build to be able to break tackles, great yards after contact. Coming around, working downhill. See a little bit of move, so quick.
Already his 6th 100-yard rushing game of the season. 90 of those came on one run on a 90-yard touchdown back to end the first quarter.
And really, he has been their one explosive play so far on offense.
Flag is thrown before the snap.
False start. Offense, number 55. 5-yard penalty. It's first down.
That's on Allen Hatton, the left guard. That's the 3rd false start against this offensive line for Abilene Christian.
And the penalty numbers on paper are not a big discrepancy, but it certainly feels like they're hurting Abilene Christian more in this game thus far.
Those first 2 false starts both came on 3rd downs to back up Abilene Christian 5 yards. Play action. McIver's got time, uncorks it down the seam, and it's intercepted. There is a flag thrown. Jalen Crumby has the interception for the moment being.
Pass interference. Defense, number 14. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
Pass interference wipes away an interception, and Tim Polasek not happy about it.
That was Enoch Tibonaya underneath, working underneath. The play is going to go downfield. It's going to be the little bit of the hook there.
That's actually Darius Gibbons, 29, not 14.
Yeah, they called. Nonetheless, we have seen some questionable non-calls here or there. A big one against that North Dakota State defense.
Into NDSU territory. Hicks with a patient run, shakes away from a tackle, and he lunges down across the 45, where Darius Gibbons makes the tackle.
Yeah, patience, a good word there. Logan Kopp, number 43, got upfield, forced the cutback. Was patient to find that lane. Good first down gain.
Hicks ran for 171 last week in the opening round win in the FCS playoffs, and he is creeping up close to that number already early 3rd quarter. McIver scanning, slings it to the sideline. That is way over the head of Hicks, incomplete.
These situations in the first half, for most of it, we would see North Dakota State try to create pressure with that front 4. Drop everyone else. They're not even showing pressure here.
They do send 5. Kopp off the edge, and he takes him down. Ball's loose. Kopp picks it up.
great job of disguising that as well. Just before he did that, I showed they weren't showing pressure. He's up top. Wait for him to wait till like the last second to come. That seam is there. McIver doesn't even see him as he goes for the hit. The great awareness to go for the strip right off the top of your screen to the blind side of McIver. Then the athleticism to get up and scoop it. Good hustle by Hicks to not let him take it in. But they're now evened up in that turnover margin.
I was just going to say, when this game was 17-3, Abilene Christian, you said turnovers can flip this game in a hurry. North Dakota State plus 17 turnover margin, best in the nation. Marty Brown curling around the perimeter, bends it back inside, gets a push from his offensive line inside the 20 for a first down.
That's why you're a good partner. You said curling. He literally kind of started to go like loop around. He went out to his left and then kind of like he was on making his own little roller coaster.
Telling a play-by-play guy that he gave the perfect description is the best compliment you can ever give us. My head's not going to fit through the door now.
There you go. Only took us till 4 minutes into the third quarter, but yeah.
My first good call of the day. That's Dorian Plumley, who's down for this Abilene Christian defense. And he was taken off the field. $17 straight scored by North Dakota State, and they've got a chance to add on to that here with a red zone trip, where they've scored all 3 times they've gotten it in the red zone, but a couple of them have been field goals. Miller zips it to Nelson, who has a touchdown earlier in this game, and he pulled it in, but lost it going down. It's incomplete.
Yeah, they brought pressure on it. Nice patience, poise, and then a good job there defensively. Making that hit, Moffitt not allowing the completion.
This is 2nd and 10. Miller looking left the whole way to Lance. Corner of the end zone, he juggled it, incomplete, but a flag. Jordan Mukes had the coverage, and we'll have to check on the marker.
Pass interference, defense. By rule, the ball is placed at the 2-yard line. Automatic first down.
You mentioned he knew he wanted this matchup. His eyes never leave it. And you see a little bit there, the tug on the shoulder as he's going in. Great effort there by Lance. It's almost like the officials went in half and said, you know what, we're going to call a few more pass interference. We probably let some go in that first half.
Well, they certainly let him play in the first half. We've seen a couple that maybe weren't called early. Brown right up the middle following that massive offensive line, and he is marked down inside the 1, just shy of the goal line. Mason Miller wants you to know it should be a touchdown, but it's not going to be ruled that.
He's got the wrong jersey on.
No huddle. They do go to the line quick. Miller holds on to it, lunges to the goal line. No signal yet. Now it's a touchdown.
Ruling on the field is a touchdown.
The fullback Truman Wermeyer with a push to get Miller in.
Yeah, took that snap under center. Yeah, looks like it clearly kind of broke the plane there. He's going to take right out behind that, his left tackle, and keep pushing forward. All scoring plays a review, but be tough there. Say that he didn't get across.
Strip sack by Logan Kopp turns into a touchdown of just 4 plays, and the Bison have now scored 24 unanswered to take a 10-point lead.
Abilene Christian came out looking upset-minded, but here Logan Kopp off the edge with a beautifully disguised blitz would ultimately turn the ball over and allow North Dakota State, the #2 seed, to extend their lead.
Following a 17-3 deficit in the second quarter, it has been all NDSU. The Bison have scored 24 consecutive, Craig, and now they're looking like the typical North Dakota State.
And special teams, right? That was the momentum shifter. And then on that drive, defense ultimately set up their offense.
A kick return touchdown that started this 24-0 run, and now on that last drive, a strip sack that led to a touchdown just 4 plays later.
It's been a team effort, all 3 phases contributing to North Dakota State being able to regain the lead and extend it there.
Nehemiah Martinez, 3 yards deep in the end zone, brings it out. And he fails to reach the 20. Oh, maybe he does reach the 20. He stayed up, did not touch the ground, and he's across the 20 to the 21.
You really wanted to prove you wrong.
Well, the winner of this game takes on the winner of Mercer and Rhode Island, and that one's coming down to the stretch. Mercer up 7 in victory formation, so the 7 seed advances to the quarterfinals, meaning if North Dakota State holds on, Mercer comes here. If Abilene Christian comes from behind to win this game, they go to Mercer in the quarterfinals next week.
So we know who Mercer's rooting for.
You think so?
The Bears, yeah.
Drive starts at the 21, trying to answer a 24-0 run for North Dakota State. This is Hicks bouncing to the outside and a stutter step as he loses a yard to the 20.
I mean, outside of that 90-yard run, they've really done a nice job of modeling up Hicks. Now, obviously, that 90-yard run was a big play. But in the first half, outside of that, he only had 16 yards.
Yeah, he's got 27 total yards rushing outside of that 90-yard run. Now, it's still 118 yards and a touchdown through the first 2.5 quarters. Martinez in motion for Abilene Christian. 2nd and 11. McIver dumps it off on a check down to Henry. And he's down to the 28, just a few yards shy of the marker. Tackle made by Marcus Goley.
Really been one of their more productive plays, just getting it underneath and Henry being able to run after the catch, but facing a 3rd down.
Started 2 for 2 on 3rd down tonight. Since then, just 1 of 7. Need the 31 for a 1st down. McIver faced and pressured. He's dropped by Eli Mostart. Back-to-back All-Missouri Valley Football Conference selection, a first-teamer this year, and he has a sack to bring up 4th down.
Yeah, they felt they needed to get to the quarterback with 4, and there he just gets to the edge, just wins with quickness. Defensive coordinator Grant Olson told us yesterday he did not believe they would be the #2 seed if it wasn't for Mostart in the way that he is playing. Big words, but you see a glimpse why they feel that way.
Nick Kubitz almost got there to block it. Jackson Williams calls for the fair catch at the 40 to start the drive for the Bison. Well, North Dakota State has certainly settled in after a 17-3 deficit. It has been all Bison trying to charge their way to the quarterfinals. The NCAA FCS Championship coverage continues next weekend with quarterfinal coverage across ESPN networks. For more information, visit ncaa.com, the home for all 90 NCAA championships. North Dakota State has made it to 14 consecutive quarterfinals and trying to make it 15 with a 10-point lead nearing the halfway mark of the 3rd quarter. Hand off to Marty Brown, straight up the gut, and he is stacked up immediately by Jerry Lawson. You mentioned it a little bit earlier with Lawson, but an interior defensive lineman to have the number of tackles and sacks that he has this season is remarkable. He had a 15 tackle game against Northern Colorado earlier this year, and that just doesn't happen for a defensive tackle.
No, I mean, it's you know, that's a lot of activity. I mean, just looking, so Mostart, who's really a key piece of that defense, he came in today with 44 tackles.
More than 60 on the season now for Lawson. Miller with a quick throw. Bryce Lance reels it in near midfield, and he dips down for a first down.
Job there by Lance, obviously. Receiver, older brother, is an outstanding quarterback here. Nice job running his route, finding an open window.
There is Trey and Bryce on draft night back in 2021 when Trey was selected 3rd overall by the San Francisco 49ers. Now with the Dallas Cowboys. Led the Bison to an undefeated national title back in 2019 where they went 16-0. Miller hit as he throws, launches down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Looking for Lance, but a really late flag comes in. Tyson Williams had the coverage.
That's better late than never because that was needed. He was forced to try to make a one-handed grab because his arm was being held back.
Pass interference, defense, number 4, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
I'll say what, that was a beautifully thrown ball considering he took a hit. But you're going to watch here as he's going, the right arm is being held back. Doesn't allow Lance to be able to try to make that catch with both hands. Almost made it with one. And this is just a beautiful throw because there's a unblocked blitzer, Schaefer, who hits him right away and took a big shot there. Still made a beautiful throw.
6 penalties now on Abilene Christian, and this one puts North Dakota State at the 34. Brown receives the handoff, and he charges down to the 30 for 4 yards.
You know, sometimes, you know, we were talking a little bit about, sometimes it seems like in the great history of North Dakota State quarterbacks that Cam Miller doesn't get his due.
Right.
And his numbers right now are comparable to what Trey Lance's were that season when they had that big year, if not even a little bit better. And then just that play ago, that throw with somebody barreling down on you and getting hit. I mean, I think he may be one of the most underrated quarterbacks that they've had here at North Dakota State in recent years, despite everything that he's accomplished. But the one thing he's missing is adding a title.
Fakes the handoff here, dumps it over the middle. That's caught. It's TK Marshall down the sideline for an NDSU touchdown. Straight from the Bison.
Yeah, we talked about great job he does as a quarterback there. Beautiful touch there over the defender, and TK Marshall, who's the upperclassman of that running back room, the guy who does a little bit of everything, coming out of the backfield to make that catch.
Jake Landry, the offensive coordinator, called TK Marshall the old head, the leader of that running back room, and he scores a touchdown to make it 31 unanswered.
North Dakota State now starting to stampede a little bit, further extending their lead here, 34-17.
A Cam Miller touchdown pass has given the Bison 31 unanswered points and a 17-point lead. His second touchdown toss of the day gives him 25 now on the season. Nehemiah Martinez from the 8 on the return. He's across the 25, reversing field. Martinez across midfield. And he gets clipped out of bounds in North Dakota State territory inside the 40.
Well,
It was a big kickoff return for North Dakota State to kind of change the tide in their favor. Martinez not able to take it to the house, but certainly a big return to give this offense outstanding field position.
Exactly the kind of start they needed, facing a 31-0 run since they were up 17-3 earlier in the game.
Off of that big return, did they go here and take a shot? North Dakota State showing too deep.
Bison send 4 on first down. McIver takes the short route to Henry. Nice cut upfield, and he dips down to the 32 for 7 yards. It's an air raid offense, Craig, that takes a lot of shots. Maverick McIver is used to throwing downfield, but his longest completion today has been just 15 yards.
And North Dakota State defensively has been able to accomplish, I think, what they want. Take away those plus 20 plays. McIver's number would support that.
Hicks on the ground this time. Hops away from 1. And a second effort gives him maybe a yard to the 31.
Yeah, Ryan Jones, the safety, with initial penetration getting upfield, slowing him down. And, this North Dakota State defense, of course, a third down.
Brings up 3rd and 2 for the Wildcats.
Been a rough day on third down for one of the nation's best on third down. Hicks, first down. Hicks a lot more. Across the 15, dragging a defender with him to the 12 for 19 yards.
Right side of that offensive line, doing a great job creating a seam there for Hicks. As you see, he gets to the second level completely untouched.
First down in the red zone. McIver quickly over to Henry. He's across the 10. What a cut from Henry as he gets taken down at the 3 by Enoch Sibomana.
Yeah, Henry, he is so slippery after the catch. He scored down here in the first quarter, came close here again.
What a cut.
Yeah, he's got some wiggle to him.
Abilene Christian in desperate need of points right now. North Dakota State scored 31 straight. Second and 1. Hicks on the ground, straight up the gut, gets a push to the goal line, and it's a touchdown.
Wildcats able to pay off that nice kick return by Nehemiah Martinez.
A kickoff return that allowed them to start at the 39. They go 5 plays in just over 2.5 minutes. And a touchdown that they needed in the most desperate way, with the extra point going straight down the middle. I mean, that's the kind of response you needed. I mean, it's still been all North Dakota State in this second half, Craig, but this is what you needed if you're Abilene Christian.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got a big special teams play. This is all 3 phases of what allowed the Bison to get back in this game, get the lead, and extend it. But a special teams play there helped the Wildcats. Now it'll be interesting to see, though. We've already seen Abilene Christian get a little frisky on special teams with that fake punt. Do they try to potentially surprise onside, steal a possession?
A lot of football to play. 3:23 left in the third quarter. North Dakota State up 10. The winner takes on Mercer next week in the quarterfinals. Ritzy Vase to kick it away. Williams lets it fly out of the back of the end zone. Well, Cam Miller had an interception early in this game, but for the most part, he has been locked in.
Yeah, dude, nice job getting good protection, stepping into that throw right before the half, right along the end line to his receiver. Then he would push it in, take it himself, and then right there, help them extend their lead. Nice little throw over the defender to TK Marshall. And he's taken some hits as well today and stood in there, made some tough throws.
3 total touchdowns for the 5th-year senior at quarterback who started 41 consecutive games for North Dakota State. Empty backfield to start the drive. Miller snaps it to the sideline. Braylon Henderson across the 40, spins away from a tackler, and he finally gets dragged out at the 49 after 24 yards.
Yeah, TK Marshall was in on that tackle. Working underneath the 2 receivers, and you can see number 8 there, 28 kind of getting away a little bit as he's working upfield, but nice route. 2 receivers running off the defenders out wide and coming underneath.
Over 200 yards through the air now on the day for Cam Miller. Marty Brown has a little bit of a hole that he crawls across midfield to, the 48. A redshirt freshman that sat out last year, Craig, and Tim Polasek was rather honest with us yesterday. Said, we knew he was really good. I recruited him when I was at Wyoming. We thought he had FBS talent, but it was a surprise just how productive he's been this year.
Yeah, a little bit of time to kind of get into the program, but really exploding here as a freshman.
Play clock down to 4. Penu follows a block with a stutter step, and he gets dragged down after just a yard.
You know, with the portal getting open, ready to open on Monday, you know, sometimes we're in a kind of a bit of a situation these days where you got a freshman who's playing really well. You worry like, oh, were you going to lose him? I think North Dakota State's done such a great job with their culture here. This is one place you don't have to worry about that. You mentioned he's got FBS ability. We've seen players over the year turn down FBS offers to come here.
Several players for North Dakota State have not only had FBS offers, but even Power 4 offers to leave in the portal, and a majority of them stay here because it is all about the culture in Fargo. 3rd and 4. Miller scanning, looks right, rips it to the sideline to Lance, who reels it in, and he's got the first down before he's immediately hit by Jordan Mukes.
Talked about Miller and how good he is within this offense and how underrated there. You see him, he's going to start to his left, work all the way back to his right, and puts it right on his receiver, Lance, who does a nice job with his route, getting right past the sticks. There seems to be just a poise and a calmness that comes with 51 straight starts.
4-year starter, Cam Miller, trying to lead them to a national title this year as a 5th-year senior. Great protection again, launches, has a man, touchdown North Dakota State, it's Bryce Lance. Bryce Lance's league-leading 11th touchdown catch, and the Bison have an immediate response. That was a Z, Bison fans, I promise, not an S.
Well, what is without dispute was that was a nice throw. Seems like Cam Miller just feeling it now, just in rhythm. Lance up top, nice little move on the inside, and then Miller just drops it in on him. Good pocket, he sees it, just steps into it, nice base. Good air underneath it, and
excited with the way that he's been playing from that second quarter on.
Lead is back up to 17 after Cam Miller's 4th total touchdown, 3rd through the air. Touchback to start for Abilene Christian. The most dominant and winningest team in FCS playoff history, making their 15th consecutive appearance in the playoffs. 47 all-time wins in the FCS playoffs. Nobody's had more, and a team that's won 9 titles in the last 13 years. You want to win a title, you got to go through Fargo.
And if you got to go through Fargo, it becomes almost impossible. We showed only one team has come in here in the playoffs and won a game.
$17-point deficit. It's Hicks on the ground. He escapes one, and he drags a defender with him all the way across the 35 for a first down. There you have it. In this building, they just flat out don't lose. 35-1 all-time in the Fargodome in the playoffs.
There's a lot of reasons for Mercer to be pulling for a comeback, and that's one of them.
McIver to throw, drops it off to Hicks. What a move. Sam Hicks across the 40, and he gets ripped down at the 41 after 5 yards. I mean, all these playmakers are incredible for Abilene Christian, making the first guy miss. 17-point lead for North Dakota State at home, though, looking for their 15th consecutive quarterfinal appearance. $17-point lead for North Dakota State as we head to the 4th quarter, and 'tis the season. Happy December. Doesn't he have a naughty and nice list to be making right now?
Yeah,
There's no time off in December.
Like early on, the Wildcats were going to deliver some coal, but after that, the Bison have been on point.
First play of the 4th quarter, that's Jordan Vaughn on the carry, and he breaks through the seam across the 45 down to the 43.
And this Abilene Christian offense actually without their second leading rusher, Isaiah Johnson. And then Vaughn there with a nice run, hopping off the field.
His first carry of the game is a great one, but he limps off the field. 1st and 10. Keep it on the ground with Hicks. And he's ripped down at the 40 for 3 yards by Nick Kubitz. All right, final 15 minutes, Craig, down 17. What's the recipe got to be for Abilene Christian?
We got to pick up the pace a little bit, and you're going to have to try to challenge North Dakota State's philosophy of keeping things underneath. You're going to have to take some shots downfield.
No, somebody jumps. Which way?
I think this might actually this time be against the Bison.
Offside. Defense, number 92. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Right up top, number 92 the end. You can see him come across, and that draws the tackle. They need to try to find some ways. Number 13, Blaine Taylor, tall receiver. He's to his right. They got to find a way to get him the football as well.
Looking his way down the sideline, and he threw it short. We
were talking with defensive coordinator Grant Olson,
And he was saying that he was actually the one player that on this, with all the talent that they have, Abilene Christian, he was one guy that really kind of, you know, made him a little nervous just because of his dimensions. He's nearly 6'5", he's tall, he's long. He's like, it's hard to simulate that when you're going against him.
His exact words were, he makes me really nervous. You cannot simulate that size at 6'5", 215 pounds. Third down. Hicks off the left side, bouncing off tacklers, and he lunges down to the 31 for a first down.
And the Wildcats pick up a first down there, but you know what? North Dakota State's like, that's fine. You want to take a 3-yard run, get a first down. We'll give you a new set of downs to try to chip away at it. Chip away at the clock.
I mean, a 3-score lead with 13 minutes to go, that's the thing, right? If you're North Dakota State, we'll give you 4-yard runs. ...156 yards on the ground today for Sam Hicks. Once Taylor. What a catch. Did he keep his feet in bounds? Yes. You said it. Get Blaine Taylor a little bit more involved, and they've looked his way a couple times this drive.
Does a nice job of dropping it in there. A great throw. Good concentration, brings it in. There's that left foot. He's got it. Yeah, outstanding job. Nice throw and catch. And
first down inside the 15. Banks slips past defenders across the 10, gets a great push from his offensive line all the way to the 6 for 8 yards. That was a 2- or 3-yard run, Craig, that all of a sudden turned into 8 because of a second effort.
Yeah, and with that, North Dakota State, after that play, changed out their entire front. Get some fresh bodies in there.
Hockey subs.
That was a complete line change.
Banks one more time, lowers the shoulder, and Nick Kubitz rips him back, but it is enough to get to the 2 and a first down. Are you surprised that the most amount of success Abilene Christian has had today has actually come on the ground as opposed to through the air?
Come on the ground and between the tackles.
Yeah. First and goal from the 2. Banks, a 3rd straight carry, leans to the goal line for a touchdown. Back to a 2-score game.
There's a little bit of zone right here. You're going to watch Banks follow it and then kind of get skinny. Push his way in.
Only the 2nd rushing touchdown all year for Rovan Banks Jr., the 3rd-string running back for Abilene Christian. 10-play drive that takes nearly 4.5 minutes off the clock, and Abilene Christian has made this a 10-point game. But the Wildcats running out of time. 4th quarter in the Fargodome is when the Bison thrive. The 9-time FCS champions, North Dakota State Bison, have dominated the FCS. All of those titles coming since 2011. The winningest program in FCS playoff history, the most dominant team in FCS playoff history. And that's got to be hot. That dude's sweating, right, underneath that?
He could walk out to a field of Bison and fit right in. They'd be like, hey, come on in. You're one of us.
Join the Stampede.
Wow, that's a lot of fire. I like it, though.
Game's indoors, not outdoors. You wouldn't even need that outdoors day. It's a beautiful 43 degrees in Fargo today.
Like, you got to be strong just to wear all that hat and that. Like, you can't skip leg day if you're going to dress like that.
We showed you a drive chart in the first half where it went punt, punt, interception. North Dakota State's offense was really struggling to move the football. But how about this since halftime? Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown.
Yeah, he's really been feeling it. Cam Miller, their last title in 2021 came, and he was steering the ship back then. The last 2 years, as you mentioned, despite how most teams would be excited for what they've accomplished, it's kind of was considered down here. They're trying to get back on track, and like I said, I think he's been a little bit underrated in their history of quarterbacks. But
Barika Penu on the carry. It's a push across the 30. I agree. The narrative around him his first couple of years is that, well, he just leans on the run game and the defense, and that's fine. That's what North Dakota State's built around. But over the last couple of years, he has been, I think, the most underappreciated player in all of FCS football.
And, well, he's certainly not leaning on the run today.
No.
I mean, they're in this position because of him and the way that he's played.
More than 5,000 yards over the last 2 seasons and a 42-5 touchdown to interception ratio. I mean, just incredible efficiency from Cam Miller.
Yeah, I think a title this year, he could probably maybe claim a little bit more of on his shoulders.
Miller sits in the pocket, delivers over the middle to Braylon Henderson, who's got the first down for the Bison.
Abilene Christian head coach Keith Patterson told us earlier week, goes, we let him sit back there and comb his hair. He's going to tear us apart. Right now, he's got that comb out, and he's getting some good brush strokes.
That is an incredible line from Coach Patterson. He said in the games that have been close and in their losses, the defenses have gotten after him, put on some pressure. He said, so that was the game plan, to put on pressure, see if they could get to him. But that NDSU offensive line is just doing what they do every week, and that is protect Cam Miller. This is TK Marshall. Right up the gut. He's down to the 48 for 5 yards before David Oki makes the stop. Back to Cam Miller real quick and just the underappreciation. We were comparing what he's done this year to what Trey Lance did in that 2019 season where they went 16-0, won a national title. The numbers are a little lower than what Trey Lance was putting up that season, but they are very comparable.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, almost identical. I mean, the way that he's been playing, I mean, he's hovering around 75% completion percentage. And you mentioned a little earlier, I mean, we all had to take a step back because he doesn't throw many interceptions. Yeah. That one in the first half was only his second of the year.
A 27-2 touchdown to interception ratio on the season now. Miller rolls, floats it to Joe Stuff, who's got first down across the 40.
And to put up those type of numbers in this conference, we've shown you got 3 seeds amongst the 4 out of this conference. You see how almost identical those numbers are. The interception being the one blemish, and obviously that was coming into today. They've added one more interception, and they also opened their season and gave Colorado all they can handle. I mean, so the numbers that he's putting up are not inflated against bad competition. I mean, this is a program, this is a quarterback who's really pretty consistently facing outstanding opponents.
His season high 277 yards came in that opening game against Colorado. Handoff, Brown, nothing going.
This is we'll see not much there on first down, but this drives another reason why they're so good, because the Wildcats claw within 2 scores and now, but now they're just taking their time, moving the ball down the field. Like, we'll let you have it back when we see fit.
The exact game North Dakota State loves to play. Get into the 4th quarter with a lead and run the football to death. Taking that play clock all the way down to 1. Miller has the protection, launches to Raja Nelson, who cannot quite haul it in. Dorian Plumlee had the coverage for Abilene Christian to force the incompletion.
Taking a shot there. Good throw. Good coverage, good back and forth. We've kind of seen the pass interference pendulum swing wildly each way today, but I thought it was a really nice job there. Both of them playing for a little bit of a tug there, but Plumlee looking back. A nice job with that right hand coming in and swiping. Good coverage.
Third down, chance for Abilene Christian to get off the field. Miller zips it over the middle to Stuffle. No flag. Incomplete. Harold West, the safety, was the one covering Stuffle. And both him and Miller looking for a flag that they do not get.
That's the second time today that Stuffle feels like right over the middle. They're going to get excellent protection. Stuffle's to the inside, working over the middle of the field as he tries to break in. You see the tug of the jersey right at the number 2, move away from his body.
Yeah, West got away with one for sure. Punt unit on the field, though, punting from the 39. Short punt. That flies out of bounds. At the 21. 6:47 to play. The door is cracked just a little bit for Abilene Christian. It's certainly an uphill battle at this point. Down 10 with 6:47 to go, but the good news for Abilene Christian, Craig, is you've got one of the best quarterbacks in the FCS running things.
Yeah, he's came in today pushing 4,000 yards. He's been contained, but again, you said it right off the top. This is a gunslinger who can get things done through the air.
They start on the ground with Hicks, and he's dragged down behind the line of scrimmage by Enoch Sibomana.
A linebacker right there, going to get quick penetration right in the backfield, comes knifing in. A good tackle, goes low, brings him down, and starts this drive here for the Wildcats behind the chains.
Really productive day for the linebacker, a local kid from here in Fargo who played high school at Fargo South. Empty backfield for McIver. Approaching 6 to go. Over the middle, it's caught. Henry has the first down. And J.J. Henry is slow to get up, but he is to his feet.
Interesting to watch. Logan Kopp came off the field on that play. After that big hit, kind of favoring his shoulder. We'll see. He's a big part of this defense. That strip sack that he had, big part of the momentum shift there earlier in this game.
Play action. McIver hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. Marcus Goley with the pick for North Dakota State. And he's got a return down the sideline. Marcus Goley is finally dragged down inside the 10. The Bison defense perhaps putting an exclamation point on a trip to the quarterfinals.
Well, move that turnover margin to plus 18. We felt it may play a role today. Here it does. They're going to get pressure off of both edges. They're going to kind of bookend right at the quarterback. That goes airborne. And then Gully is right there, kind of field it like a punt and create a turnover.
That was Toby Anena, the defensive end, who applied the pressure and the hit. Grant Olson, the defensive coordinator for North Dakota State, called him the biggest surprise on the defense this year. Called him the best defensive end they've had all season long after not expecting to play a big role.
Yeah, Loshaka Rooks coming from that other edge as well.
Brown on the ground and spins down to the 6.
But even talking with the North Dakota State coaches yesterday, when we were preparing this week, the turnover margin jumped out to us. But even talking with them yesterday, they said that's got to play a factor. we've been so great in creating turnovers and protecting the football. That's got to play a factor here today, and it certainly has.
Make it plus 18 now after being plus 1 today. That leads the nation. They were plus 17 in turnover margin a year ago, which was also number 1 in FCS. Miller holds on to it. Stops, now uses the legs, and he spins down to the 5. Kirby Cohealy applied the hit for Abilene Christian.
It's key here for this Wildcats defense to try to force the field goal.
A field goal keeps it a 2-score game, approaching 4 to go here inside the Fargodome in the second round of the FCS playoffs.
That interception was big. We were talking about, I mean, the Wildcats had their foot in the door. They were not letting the Bison close it. If they can hold them to a kick here, they can kind of maintain that same position.
And Abilene Christian's defense has been good on third down today. Just 1 for 8 North Dakota State conversions on third. Miller looking left the whole way to the back of the end zone, and it is deflected away. Tyson Williams just saved a touchdown and a 3-score game.
Tyson Williams seen him make a few nice plays today, going up. Outstanding job with that right hand, being able to make that play.
Nelson was wide open too in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, just a great job getting up and extending.
It's Jake Rock, the starting right guard. A 6th-year player. This is his first year as a starter.
Listen, your destiny is preordained when your name is Jake Rock. You're going to be an offensive lineman. He may have tried to get in a receiver line or something when he was young. No, hey, Jake Rock, you're in the trenches, buddy.
We are running the rock behind you every time.
Rock's the right guard, working inside, slide protection. And see, as it always, he's trying to anchor and the pressure from the outside. You know, the ones that you don't see. Defender coming down on the back of his leg. This has been an offensive line from North Dakota State. One of those pieces of the puzzle you don't always talk about, but great consistency amongst that front. 4 of the 5 starters have started every game this year.
The only one who hasn't is Griffin Empey, who had started 10 of the 12 games this season. So, I mean, just great continuity, like you said. One of the best offensive lines in college football. As Jake Rock is being helped to the sideline.
He's been a consistent part of that unit. Is North Dakota State hoping to still play for a few more weeks? Hoping that he mends quickly.
All goes as planned for them. They would have 2 more home games past today, the quarterfinals and the semifinals, as a top 2 seed. Makes from 21 and 37 today for Griffin Crosa, and he drives another one through. 13-point lead, still 2 possessions though. Abilene Christian with their backs against the door. 3:34 to play.
An unprecedented season comes down to this.
Tough decisions have to be made.
Let's see where the committee landed.
The College Football Playoff Selection Show, Sunday at noon Eastern on ESPN.
Yeah, that's how I get by.
A 4-hour special tomorrow for the College Football Playoff Selection Show. And we know one team that will be in it, Craig. Arizona State winning the Big 12 championship earlier today to get into the playoff. How about the job Kenny Dillingham's done there?
Yeah, I mean, Kurt Cignetti may have something to say about it, but you could say Dillingham Coach of the Year. Boise State also took care of business last night.
All right, we said it last drive, and it still remains true. Maybe a little less of a crack, but the door is still ever so slightly open. 2-score game, 3:34 to go. Abilene Christian has to make something happen, and they got to do it quickly, Craig.
The door may be slightly open, but there's a timer on that door, and it's getting less and less. So they're going to really need, again, they got to push the ball downfield. North Dakota State has been great today of keeping MacGyver contained, forcing him to take throws underneath.
He's thrown for just 153 yards today, averages more than 300 a game. Over the middle, it's tipped and intercepted. Logan Kopp, who had the strip sack, now has a pick six. Door closed.
And now at just a mind-boggling plus 19. Great to see Logan Kopp, as I mentioned on a previous drive. He had a big hit and came off immediately after that hit, and he's looking in fine form there now.
Logan Kopp, an engineer student. Grant Olson, the defensive coordinator, called him one of the smartest guys he's been around.
Working right in the middle of the field, dropping. There will be a tip, and there he is, right on the spot and off to the races. Right off his receiver's hands, Hicks. One you gotta make. He's made so many of them. MacGyver trying to stop him, but don't feel bad. Many of team have come in here looking for a win, and almost none, with one exception, have ever left getting it done.
+2 turnover margin. You said it moments ago, which makes it an incredible +19 on the season for the Bison. And the 4th time this season they've scored at least 50.
And I haven't seen what the numbers for Mercer's game today, but Mercer came into the playoffs +11. So two teams that have been outstanding in terms of
Nehemiah Martinez way deep in the end zone. Brings it out across the 20, and a flag thrown at the end of the return.
During the return, Eagle Eagle block in the back. Return team number 51. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
This was 17-3 Abilene Christian, and a kickoff return for a touchdown to flip this game around.
Yeah, this really was the momentum turner. It's a 3-phase game, and special teams was kind of the spark to get North Dakota State back on track.
17-3 Abilene Christian before that kickoff return, and since then 48-14 North Dakota State.
And Logan Kopp, big reason, 2 turnovers that he's created amongst their 3, including that one that he just took back for a touchdown.
Hicks reversing field on the ground. There is a flag. Hicks has a first down for a moment before he's chased down by Ryan Jones. Check on the marker though.
Holding. Offense, number 59. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Jacob Thielen, the guilty party for Abilene Christian on the holding. Wipes away what was a nice first down run, and that's not a great sign. Sam Hicks, your star running back, down on the ground on his sideline. Half the distance to the goal, and the penalty backs up Abilene Christian inside their own 5. Straight up the middle. And Jackson Dutenheffer makes the tackle.
And really today, with the exception of that 90-yard run by Sam Hicks, North Dakota State has executed their game plan beautifully. In terms of when Abilene Christian has had to score, they've made him earn it.
McIver uncorks it down the sideline, and it's incomplete. Right through the hands of Trey Cleveland. Third and 8. Banks on the grounds. Out to the 15 before Nick Kubitz is there to make the tackle.
This North Dakota State defense today also really just doing a nice job. They brought pressure at times, but that front has done a nice job getting to the quarterback as well. North Dakota State, number 2 seed, looking to the future here in this one.
Final 2 minutes inside the Fargodome here in the FCS playoffs second round, where North Dakota State is just 2 minutes away from punching their 15th consecutive ticket to the quarterfinals. Good to see Sam Hicks back in the game after he took a tumble a few plays ago and was out for a couple plays. McIver on 4th down, and it's through the hands of J.J. Henry on 4th down. You mentioned the game plan, Craig, of limiting what Maverick McIver can do, the quarterback for Abilene Christian, who throws for over 300 yards a game. He threw for just 153 today, his second lowest mark of the season, but the lowest one was when he came out in the first half with an injury. The other lowest that he had in a full game was 229 yards this season.
Yeah, I think North Dakota State's got to feel great about the way that they've executed defensively today and really contained one of the top quarterbacks in all of FCS.
Meanwhile, the day is done for the starting quarterback, Cam Miller, who threw for 274 and 3 touchdowns. That brings in the backup, Nathan Hayes, for the final couple minutes. Barika Penu to the 11.
Abilene Christian rushed for almost 200 yards. But I think North Dakota State they were willing to give up a few extra rushing yards. They just wanted to limit the explosive plays, of which really Abilene Christian got the one with the 90-yard run from Hicks. But they just never, except for that one run, just never let that Wildcats offense just kind of really explode.
Victory formation here for North Dakota State, who the result was never in question on this drive, but there was a certain group of people who had some interest in this last drive.
And, you know, for Abilene Christian, listen, again, they were picked 6th to come in their conference. To be in this situation, I think the job that head coach Keith Patterson has done in really, I think you could probably argue they're a little bit ahead of schedule where they want to be. And listen, North Dakota State has won multiple titles in really just the time that Abilene Christian has even just been an FCS program.
The final kneel down as North Dakota State, led by Cam Miller, is on to the quarterfinals for the 15th consecutive season. The winningest program in all of FCS playoffs adds another to the total, and they get to stay home for the quarterfinals next week against Mercer.
How did they get knocked out of the playoffs last year? On the road. You don't want to have to try to test your luck and get into the national championship coming through Fargo.
North Dakota State now 36-1 all-time in the Fargodome in the FCS playoffs as they advance to the quarterfinals to take on Mercer next week. The winner of that game will take on the winner of South Dakota State or Incarnate Word in the semifinals in a couple weeks.
That could be Mercer not only doing an outstanding job in turnover margin, but one of the best rushing defenses in all of FCS. Great matchup there between two top 10 seeds.
(51-31) the final. North Dakota State, after a 17-3 deficit in the second quarter, outscores Abilene Christian 48-14 over the final 2.5 quarters, and the Bison do it again. 36-1 all time at home in the playoffs, and they're in the quarterfinals for the 15th consecutive season. A big thank you to our entire crew, led by our producer Adam Coppinger, our director Steve Toll, and the rest of our great ESPN crew. For Craig Halbert, our team up here in the booth with Zach Hoffner, I'm Noah Reed saying so long from Fargo, where North Dakota State wins it.